Open access has become a very big thing in academic journals. And people think of open access as free, which it is if you're the reader. For the publisher, though, open access involves money. And this money has to come from somewhere. And increasingly it's coming from authors or from research grants or from some government or university fund. This is very much contrary to the tradition of academic publishing, which was that you didn't pay to get published. But major journals now are facing a serious problem of how to support themselves. And so they increasingly are charging money called article processing charges. These charges range from fairly small amounts of money, maybe $500 US, up to several thousand. And when I say small, it's more than most authors are actually willing to pay, but it doesn't even come close to meeting the cost of producing an article. Anyway, this is the new order of things, that articles have to be paid for so that they can be put out online free of charge. Almost inevitably, this has led to the creation of journals which are generally known as predatory journals or even bogus journals. These are journals that are created entirely with the purpose of collecting article processing charges. They look like genuine scholarly journals. They often have very impressive, very academic sounding titles. The International Journal of something. They claim that they're included in prestigious citation indexes. And in those indexes, they have high impact factors. In fact, they're also predatory versions of citation indexes. But frequently, these journals don't carry out any peer review. They will publish an article if the processing charge is paid, and publication in these journals has very little value for an author. So how do you know if a journal is a predatory journal? As I said, they have very nice titles, and so you can't tell from the title. One way to tell, though, is frequently they are put together with web pages where the English language is very poor. The grammar is bad, the construction of the sentences is bad. That's certainly a negative sign. You should also pay attention to who the editor is, and is it somebody who has a reputation in the field of study. You should pay attention to the location of the journal. Some journals will have very impressive addresses. One in particular that I know of has an address on Park Avenue in New York City. And if you do a Google search on that address, what you will discover is a photocopying shop. And that photocopying shop rents out mailboxes. So this journal has rented a mailbox at a high prestige address in New York to give you the impression that that's where they're located. Predatory journals frequently approach scholars and invite them to submit articles. In fact, they generally will say, we'll publish your article quickly. And not only that, any other articles you might have, your dissertation, anything you want to send us, we'll publish it. So if you're approached by a journal with an invitation to submit an article, how do you find out if it is in fact a legitimate journal or if it's one of the predatory journals? The first step is that you look in the directory of open access publications and find out if the journal is listed there. Secondly, you look at the name of the publisher and you check whether that publisher is a member of the Open Access Scholarly Publishers Association. A third step, you go to a website which is called thinkchecksubmit.org. Now that's all one word, thinkchecksubmit.org. This website has lots of advice about how you deal with predatory journals.